Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to Flaflix. Today we will discuss the main theme and the passage is Surah Anam. Okay, Surah Anam is the sixth surah of Holy Quran, and today we will discuss verse number 75 to 79. Before we start this surah, the main theme and the significance of the theme, we have to note down some important keywords. So, take a paper and pen and note down all important points. Number one is Hazrat Ibrahim's quest. Number two, worship of celestial bodies. The next is search for the real Lord. Next, Surah Fussilat. We will discuss the connection of this Surah Anam with already done surah from theme 1, that is Surah Fussilat. Allah's guidance, and the last point is Ibrahim as friend of Allah. Okay, so now first of all we will start the main theme of the passage. Surah Anam is a Makki surah, and this is the story of Hazrat Ibrahim and his people who used to worship idols and celestial bodies. And Hazrat Ibrahim salam did not feel any attraction for all these objects. So he focused on his belief in his real Lord. Okay, the issue of idolatry and its falsity is attacked in this surah from many angles, including the story of Hazrat Ibrahim's father who opposed his own son. I will add a few more points here. Hazrat Ibrahim's father, his name was Azar. He was not only idol worshipper, but he would make and sell idols to the market. So this was his business basically. But Hazrat Ibrahim salam was not satisfied with the belief of his father and people around. That is why he smashed the idols in his father's workshop one day and argued with him, saying that his ancestors' idols had no value for him as they could neither see nor hear nor speak or could not even protect themselves. He therefore questioned their worship. From then on, he began to search for his true Lord in the stars, the moon, and the sun that were worshipped along with other assorted deities by the ancient people of Mesopotamia, where Hazrat Ibrahim lived. So basically, this surah is highlighting the belief of a people around Hazrat Ibrahim who not only believed in idol worship but they also worshipped stars, moons, and sun. When Hazrat Ibrahim saw all these corrupted beliefs, he started pondering over the reality of Lord. He pondered over it and he tried to search for the truth. So when he asked guidance from his Lord, Allah guided him. Okay, how Allah guided him? We will do it now. This is also indirectly referred to in Surah Fussilat as well. We already have done Surah Fussilat. Surah Fussilat tells us about the celestial bodies, and it says all the celestial bodies are created by Allah Almighty. They do not have their powers on their own. Their power is God gifted. So they are not worthy to be worshipped. Who should be worshipped then? The maker, the creator of all these things, and the objects or elements should be worshipped. That is Allah Almighty Himself. So you can connect Surah Fussilat with this Surah Anam part, or Surah Anam can be connected with Surah Fussilat. The main theme of the passage is Allah's relation with his messenger Hazrat Ibrahim and Allah as Ibrahim's guide, support, and friend. Now here you can add relationship of Allah with his prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah as the Lord, giver, and a guide. Ibrahim as a humble servant, a messenger or seeker of truth. So this is the relationship here. This passage tells us about the quest of Hazrat Ibrahim for his real Lord. Search of Hazrat Ibrahim for real Lord. Hazrat Ibrahim's ancestors were idol worshippers, but his ancestral idols meant nothing to him. Therefore, he started his search, his quest for his true Lord. He lived amongst the Chaldeans who had great knowledge of stars and heavenly bodies, and they used to worship them as well. People who worshipped celestial bodies, so he observed the idea of worshipping these bodies to find his Lord. He just observed them. He did not believe in them as the one worthy for worship. He was very much sure all celestial bodies or any other object cannot be worshipped. So he observed their beliefs. Okay. During the observation of distant shiny objects, he went beyond that physical world and saw the spiritual world behind. Allah says, say, verily my Lord has guided me to a way that is straight, a religion of right, the path trod by Ibrahim alayhi salam, the true in faith, and he certainly joined not gods with Allah Almighty. So this is another Quranic verse. You can support your point of view or answer. Thus, rather than submitting himself to the objects, he submitted himself to the creator of all these objects and the whole universe. Quran says, behold, his Lord said to him, bow your will to me. He said, I bow my will to the Lord and cherisher of the universe. This passage describes the spiritual enlightenment of Hazrat Ibrahim and his submission to Allah due to the guidance of Allah for him when Allah showed him with certitude the spiritual glories behind this physical world. Now here you can say, when Hazrat Ibrahim asked Allah Almighty and he was in search of Allah's help, support, and guidance. So Allah guided him. Allah showed him true path. It means if we ask Allah Almighty to guide us, definitely Allah will guide us. Okay, but the condition is we should ask for guidance. Okay, now we will start its importance. This passage is very much important in our life in a manner that it helps us to understand the guidance of Allah for us through his apostles and other creations. Firstly, we learn that Allah always guides man through different signs, like he guided Hazrat Ibrahim through celestial bodies and Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam through revelation in the cave of Hira. As Quran says, and he found you wandering and gave you guidance. It means if we want Allah Almighty to show us the straight path, so for that we have to ask him to guide us. Allah only guides those who want guidance or who ask him to give them guidance. Allah gave him the spiritual enlightenment by which Hazrat Ibrahim was always able to deny the objects and submit himself to Allah. So what is the relationship here? You can simply say Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam with true faith, with true heart, with true intention was asking his Lord to guide him. That is why Allah showed him the way. Allah showed him his support and guidance. Secondly, during his quest, his statement, this is my Lord, is in a negative tone as this is my Lord or this is my Lord according to your faith and speculations. It is in negative tone. It does not mean that Hazrat Ibrahim accepted all those objects as his Lord even for a moment. He was not confused. He did not believe in any other thing except God worthy to be worshipped. He was very much sure of the presence and the reality of true Lord. That is why he observed people's belief. Okay, basically this is for us to get guidance. Quran says Ibrahim was indeed a model, devotedly obedient to Allah and true in faith, and he joined not gods with Allah Almighty. Thirdly, this gives out a message to us that all the distant shiny objects are nothing but perishable creations of Allah Almighty and servants of Allah. Everything that is created between the heavens and earth is basically to facilitate humans. They are not to be worshipped, they are created to get facilitation. Okay, so they should only be admired, not praised, or not to be worshipped. The only one to be worshipped and adored is God. Who is He? He is real Lord, Allah Almighty, the Maker, the Creator of each and everything in the heavens, on earth, and beyond all these. Lastly, it shows us that Allah can only be seen and felt with the enlightened eye, with your true intention, with your heart, with your feelings, which sees beyond the visible and finds the sign on earth for their being Allah Almighty. It means if we see anything in the universe, so we should clearly say everything that we see or feel powerful or beautiful or shiny or admirable is the object created by Allah Almighty. So we should turn to the Maker, the Creator of all these things. We should not start worshipping them. It means worshipping any other except Allah is called shirk. And you all know shirk, being the greatest sin, is unforgivable sin. I hope this is clear to all of you. Inshallah, see you with another lesson. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.